Hello people! Today I am making music and I'm going to teach you guys how to make music, starting off with the drums. So there are many sections to a drum, a lot of sections, but first you need to learn some of the very basics of drums. I'm assuming you know how to use like the beepbox presets and stuff, so I'm going to teach you how the spectrum works for the drums. So you see, the spectrum has these like line thingies. This controls like the volume of like certain parts of it. So for example, if I just do that, it will sound different if you like put it all down and like this maybe. See the difference? It changes. So we're gonna start off with the simple kick, which is gonna be a low. It's gonna be like. Then we're gonna go on to the effects. A really good effect is the note filter because of this. You see this? This is the best part of the kick. Now you can go into the envelopes and you can see what these do. These basically just say what they do. 1 is the quickest, 3 is the longest, if there are like numbers. So if you want to do like a kick, you would like twing 2, and then you would like filter frequencies, and then you can make this a bit longer. Then you can just fix this, and you got a kick. So now you need to know some of the rhythm stuff. So for example, the tempo. Gotta scroll this down to make it slower, scroll this up to make it faster. I'm assuming you know that. So you usually make it pretty slow, and then you gotta decide if you want like this or this, because these two are kind of weird. Because with this you can make a this and a this. With this you can make everything. It's kind of weird. In freehand it's kind of weird too. Just stick with standard for now. And now, as you can see, you can make this louder to make it go longer by moving your ting up, and then like do the ting. So now you want to make your beat. I'm gonna start off with some like normal kicks. We can actually make this like not as loud. And then you can put some extra rhythm into it by just putting things randomly. And there we go, I got my kick. There we go, that's the kick. Next, you want to press Control and Enter. Or you can press Q and then change the drum channels. So now, as you can see here, we have a new drum. And as you can see the kick stuff. Next, you want to go back into the spectrum and make some louder stuff, maybe some like angles like this, to make your snare. Next, you want to make the effects of a note filter. Now this time I'm going to do this, make it go up slightly. Makes it louder. Now you can go down to make it quieter. I think that's good. Now we're going to do our note volume, 21. Now you're going to make the volume higher, change this, change that, and maybe change this up a little bit, just to make it a bit straighter so it like sounds like different. So boom, 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 boom. Now you can also encase these like this and this. As you can see, you can put this in like your spaces and stuff to make it like a kick. You can also make this longer. I can also make this quieter to make the kick stand out, the snare to stand out more. There we go. Now as you can see, we can start off with the kick. Oh, hold on, give me a second. As I was saying, we can start off with the kick, and we can have it like start off with like the intro. Alright, there we go. So now you can make this another one. Oh, no, actually I did another one. And this is going to be what we call the ride cymbal. The ride cymbal is a bit of an interesting thing, is because it's like the snare but different. First you gotta figure out how to make a cymbal, because there is no like type of preset. So you can go to the Spectrum, and honestly I don't even know how to make it. So we're gonna start off with, you can see that is nice. Gotta make a clang noise. So I think we might make this a bit tinier like that. Then we can like move this back up. I'll see. We can make this lower, make this part lower, make this part lower. You can put like a twang. Why did for some reason disappeared? Twang. You can also put a swell, kind of like those the weird thingies. And we can make a frequency 3 with the frequency 2. Right cymbal. And make this kind of quiet. And really quiet. So maybe higher? Okay, there we go. So then we can put some like stuff. So it's kind of like a snare before the snare. It's like the snare extra kick. But it has to be like a consistent beat. See how it's even in space? That's way too much. A ride, I think. I don't know, I'm not that much into the music world. I'm thinking like the magic, the like, I don't know. Oh. Like this. It's a bit of an annoying thing though. It's a bit too loud. We can change that a bit. With a slow 3, now we can change to a punch, because it does more of like a that, or we can just take away the punch. So boom. kind of quiet, like here. Boom. So boom, down, there we go. So now we have our fourth one. Actually, how many more can we do? So now we can barely do only one more after this one. So we kind of want to have like a smaller kit, maybe, where you could use drum set because it is multiple types of things, and then you can have like it all compacted into one, which is weird, but like it works. Let's go back to the Spectrum. So then we can have extras, things like the hi-hat. So for example, the hi-hat can use two different leverages. Like maybe like that. But it's more of like an open hi-hat, closed hi-hat situation, where there's two hi-hats, one's open, one's closed, yada yada yada. This is like the gun set preset, which is pretty similar to this, the gunshot one. It barely changes, really. Let's go back to my Spectrum. Let's make it to the thing I made before. And there we go. That's basically just it. Let me put it back to the no phone and stuff. So now over here is a pretty good like leverage thingy. So then it has to be really quick. So for example, there's a consistent beat throughout the entire thing with the ride symbol. See? You can also mix it up a bit with not like that, not like that. Whoopsies, whoopsies. Like this. Where you can see it kind of like fades in, kinda. So it's kind of like this. And Doom, you got your right hat. Actually, there's just like a mute set in like the thing. You can see you can allow channel muting, where you can like mute this stuff, and you can see that you can hear everything individually. So this is the team. So now, what do? Well, we can lower volumes about specific things, like the snare, booming, you can see that. There we go. I can barely hear standard actually. And that's our tutorial. Now what can you do with the last one though? This is a bit of an extra thing that you don't really need to do. You actually really need to do any of this. If you know how to use the drum set stuff, it's just like very like tedious to use drum set. Like, I'll show you what I mean by that. Look at that. That's annoying and terrible and disgusting. Ugh. So now what can you do with this thing? Well, as you can see all of this. And then like, don't know actually, but like, you can use this for other like things. For example, there's a good preset for this, the reverse cymbal. So if you just see like, listen to this like normally. It's kind of weird, but now if you listen to it like, it's like a transition. Great for using your like ideas to work. It's like this. Like, listen to this. Listen to this. See? You can use it like right here. You can transition and you can transition and stuff. It's pretty good at transitioning. That's where you ask stuff. And there you go. Thank you for watching. And now you get to listen to the full thing. There you go. Thank you for watching.